Hello, good evening, friends. Welcome to my channel IS Wins. So let's start with the main topics of editorial today. There are three main topics for mains. The first one is the dangers in the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill. Second is the IIM Bill is a bold move. Third, what can amended Forest Conservation Act change? Topic for pre are two. First is GI tag given to crafts from Rajasthan mangoes grown in Goa. Second is Lok Sabha passes bill on birth registration. Let's start with the first main topic, that is the dangers in the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill. It is related with the GS paper 2 of governance. The government is set to introduce the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill in Parliament. The final draft is shrouded in secrecy. Last week, opposition members walked out of a meeting of the Parliamentary Standing Committee and submitted dissent notes, objecting to the adoption of a report on the DPDP bill. They claimed that the bill was neither shown to the members nor formally referred to the committee. The core issues related to this bill includes a provision to amend the Right to Information Act (RTI Act), which has empowered millions of Indian citizens since its enactment in the year 2005. The RTI Act includes a provision to harmonize people's right to information, right to information with their right to privacy through an exception clause under Section 81J of the RTI Act 2005. Personal information is exempt from disclosure if it has no relation to any public activity or has no relation to any public interest, or in information sought is such that it would cause unwarranted invasion of privacy and the information officer is satisfied that there is no larger public interest that justifies disclosure. The DPDP Bill 2022, however, proposes amendments to Section 81J to expand its purview and exempt all personal information from disclosure. This threatens the very foundations of the transparency and accountability regime in the country. Given that the government is the biggest data repository, an effective data protection law doesn't give wide discretionary powers to the government. The DPDP Bill 2022 unfortunately empowers the executive to draft rules and notifications on a vast range of issues. For instance, the central government can exempt any government or even private sector entity from the application of provisions of the law by merely issuing a notification. This would potentially allow the government to arbitrarily exempt its cronies and government bodies such as the Unique Identification Authority of India, that is UIDAI, resulting in immense violation of citizens' privacy. On the other hand, small non-governmental organizations, research organizations, associations of persons and opposition parties that the government chooses not to include in the notification would have to set up systems to comply with the stringent obligations of a data uh, fiduciary. No autonomy. The draft bill doesn't even make a pretense of ensuring autonomy of the Data Protection Board, the institution responsible for enforcement of provisions of the law. The central government is empowered to determine the strength and compositions of the board, as well as the processes of selection and removal of its chairperson and other members. The chief executive responsible for managing the board is to be appointed by the government. giving it direct control over the institution. Second topic of mains is the IIM bill is a bold move. It is related with GS paper 2. The larger picture. 6 years on, very few of the 20 IIMs have done so. Among the top 4 IIMs, only the review report of IIM Bangalore is available on the website. This act of omission gives us an indication as to why the government thought fit to table the IIM amendment bill in parliament last week. No government can take kindly to non-compliance with an act of parliament. The IM Act created a situation where there were no meaningful checks and balances on the director. The absence of norms on key matters such as the appointment of dean had been evident even in the years leading up to the IIM Act as the government increasingly adopted a hands-off approach. The act served to worsen the situation. The bill. The 2017 legislation was an extraordinary act of self-abnegation (Atmatyag) by the government. All key appointments of the chairperson and board members, the director and the chairperson of the coordination forum of the IMs were left to the BOG, Board of Governors. The government reduced the presence of the central and state governments on the board from 4 members to 2. The 2023 bill seeks to undo many of the provisions of the earlier act. It creates the post of Visitor, the President of India. The Visitor will appoint the chairperson of the BOG, one nominee on the selection committee for the director, and the chairperson of the coordination forum for the IIMs. He or she will also approve all director appointments. The visitor can initiate any review of or inquiry into the affairs of an institute and remove the director on his or her own. Third topic for mains is what can amended Forest Conservation Act change? This is related with GS paper 3. The controversial Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023, passed by the Lok Sabha with limited debate, awaits discussion in the Rajya Sabha. The bill aims to restrict conservation scope, exempt border lands for strategic projects, and allow some non-forest activities. The amendments. A Supreme Court judgment in 1996 had reiterated such a broad application. It said that a forest includes all land recorded and as such in government records, regardless of ownership, as well as deemed forests which are not officially classified as forests but satisfy the dictionary meaning of the word. Any large area with significant tree cover and undergrowth. The court had also asked states to undertake an exercise to identify and notify their own deemed forests. The bill stipulates that only those lands that were notified as forest under the Indian Forest Act 1927, any other relevant law, or were recorded as forests in government records will be acknowledged as forests under this act as well. This revision stands in stark contrast to the wide applicability of the Extant Act at present. The amendments. As such, the amendments opens up all land that hasn't been officially classified as forests to commercial activity. It also removes the checks and balances the act currently includes in the form of forest clearance permissions and the informed consent of the local community. The bill seeks to exempt linear infrastructure projects like roads and highways from seeking forest clearance permissions if they are located within 100 km of the national border. Experts have raised concerns because strategic linear projects of national importance is an undefined term and can thus be misused to push through infrastructure projects that are devastating for the local ecology. Topics related to pre. The first topic is GI tax given to crafts from Rajasthan, mangoes grown in Goa. Seven products from across India, including four from Rajasthan, were given the geographical indication GI tag by the Geographical Indications Registry in Chennai. The Jalesar Dhatu Silk, mental craft. Goa, Mankurad, mango. Gon bebinka. Bebinka is a type of pudding and a traditional Indo-Portuguese dessert. It is also known as the queen of the Gon desserts. Udaipur Koftgari metal craft. Bikaner Kasidakari craft. Jodhpur Bandhej craft. Bikaner Utsta Kala craft. Next topic for pre is Lok Sabha passes bill on birth registration. The Lok Sabha on Tuesday passed the Registration of Births and Deaths Amendment Bill 2023 that paves the way for digital birth certificates, which will be a single document to be used for admission to educational institutions. Applicables Applications for driving licenses, government jobs, passports or Aadhaar, voter enrollment and registration of marriage and others. Next topic is the Union Rural Development Ministry informed Parliament on Tuesday that it owed 6,366 crore under the wage component of the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme MGNREGA NREGS to states. There are a lot of 14.42 crore active MGNREGA workers, most of them women dependent on the wages to supplement their family's income. On the total sum, 2,770 crores is owed to West Bengal alone. Invoking Section 27 of the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act MGNREGA, this center has blocked payment of over 7,500 crore to West Bengal for non-compliance of directives of the central government since December 2021. The center has also a liability of 6,266 crore in the material component to 30 states and union territories. It bears 60% of the cost of the materials used for MGNREGA worker works and the state governments provide the remaining 40%. After the discussion of pre and mains related topics, here are two questions for you for mains right answers writing. Question number 1 is the amendment to the IIM Act raises concern over autonomy of institutions and governmental oversight. Comment within 150 words. It is a 10 marker question. Comment below in the comment section. Second question is what are the implications of the amendment to the Forest Act? It is a 150 in 150 words. It is a 10 marker question. Comment below in the comment section. Thank you.